Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Ash vs. Evil Dead, much like the original movie, feels like the result of a bunch of friends who had a stupid but fun idea, and they happen to be filmmakers, and they happen to be able to get some money to make it, and it's pretty great. Only this time around, they had what I imagine is substantially more money and freaking Xena. Ash vs. Evil Dead is the sequel to the original Evil Dead movies. It takes place around 30 years later when Ash accidentally summons evil back into the world by reading from the Necronomicon by mistake when he's high. Premise done. That's all you need. The best thing about Ash vs. Evil Dead is, of course, Bruce Campbell reprising his role as Ash. Everybody loves Bruce Campbell, and he gives us everything we want in this show. When Harrison Ford came back to play Han Solo, we needed to feel that that character has aged and matured. And it's not just the same actor playing the same character, but he's older now. Not the case with Ash and Bruce. Bruce Campbell plays the same character he did in the original movies, and he hasn't lost a step. I felt that the show was amazing at what it is and what it does. It's horror comedy with no restraints, buckets of blood, loads of disgusting practical effects, and no censorship whatsoever. The story follows Ash, Pablo, and Kelly as they go out and try to fight the evil Ash summoned back into the world by mistake. The episodes are short, about 30 minutes each, and the absolute main focus of the show is fun and disgusting, wonderful Evil Dead fight scene goodness. Out of a 30-minute episodes, you will often get a solid 5-minute scene of them just eviscerating deadites while saying stupid one-liners and breaking more laws of physics than Fast and Furious. You can probably already tell that I had a lot of fun with this show. If you don't like the gross practical effects, or if you think this is going to be too stupid for you to enjoy, you should probably skip this show. For example, there are multiple scenes in this show where Ash is fighting a deadite, then someone throws him his chainsaw because he has a detachable wooden hand that he sometimes replaces with a chainsaw. Never mind. Then Ash jumps in the air, removes the wooden hand, catches the chainsaw, clicks it in, kills the deadite, and then lands. It's glorious. If you haven't watched the original movies, I would say don't worry about it. You don't have to be a fan of the original to enjoy this, and you don't have to know everything about the original. There are obviously tons of references that fans will enjoy, but the show doesn't rely on the movies. It gives you the very little backstory you need. If you are going to watch the movies, I would say that Evil Dead is probably the definitive Evil Dead, and Army of Darkness is a lot of fun as well. I watched them years ago, and I didn't really feel the need to rewatch them for this. The visual effects are obviously a huge part of this show and this franchise in general. Everything that was done practically with costumes and fountains of blood and guts and brains looks absolutely great. Everything that's CG stands out as being CG and is very much in contrast with everything else. It didn't really bother me that much because for the most part the effects look good and true to the Evil Dead standards of disgustingness, I guess. Something else that's worth mentioning about this show is Lucy Lawless. She's pretty great. I loved her in Spartacus, and I loved her in this. She doesn't get a lot of screen time, but when she does show up, she is very clearly the right counterpart for the awesomeness that is Bruce Campbell. I can't think of a better choice. Ash vs. Evil Dead received mostly positive reviews around the internet from people, mostly from people who took it for what it is. Obviously, this type of show is not for everyone, but I can't help but laugh when I go on Metacritic and I see people's negative reviews because the plot doesn't make sense. I would honestly give this a negative review if the plot made any sense. Oh, and my absolute favorite was, Ash in movie Army of Darkness was great. In this TV show, you will just see some typical feminist stuff. I bet this guy was a big fan of Jessica Jones and Sense8 as well. Bottom line, should you watch it? Ash vs. Evil Dead is all about stupid, over-the-top fun. Fun that's soaked in a river of blood and guts and brains. I had a lot of fun with this show, and I felt that it hit all the notes that it should have. I'm personally a fan of this style and this brand of comedy, and if you are too, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have fun with this show. But all of that is just my opinion. What did you think about Ash vs. Evil Dead? Did you also kind of hope that at some point Sam and Dean will pop up and be like, oh shit, this is too much? If you're gonna talk about spoilers, although seriously, but if you're gonna talk about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments, and remember that you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what gets reviewed next. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community and subscribe, but in any case, keep binging, and I'll see you next time.